Hello and welcome to this nighttime taste challenge. Couldn't get it out. 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, February 24th, 2019. We have Woodford Reserve, Kentucky Distiller Select Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Batch number 801, bottle 2658, approved by Master Distiller Chris Morris, 45.2% alcohol, 90.4 proof. Thank you, Sonia, for this. All right. She gave me this nearly full bottle. She says you weren't going to drink it anymore. She was giving up drinking. She didn't want to waste it. I wanted to help her not waste it. And it's got this nice rubber stopper in it. Woodford Reserve copper coated. Boy, fancy, huh? She would buy this to make mint juleps during the racing season. Fancy, huh? She would buy this to I got to mute it. I was watching videos. Okay, she would buy this, and also another good one coming up. She said, but she gave it up. It would she would drink one mint julep and feel like, she said, like drunk for 2 days. I found that hard to believe. But whatever the case, I'm not going to get into and psychoanalyze it. Somebody gives it to me. Hey, I'm going to drink it. So I'm going to pour this Woodford Reserve. I read that it was introduced in 1996. It's a Brown-Forman brand. I know it was 1996. I saw the trademark, I think, was acquired then. Somebody said that it was a blend of column still and copper pot still, that they kind of like used that as a promotional, the copper pot still, but it really isn't purely all copper pot still. I never saw anything definitive about that, so I really won't want to get into that. JTLBZ says hi, and Skylar 8082012 says, yeah, I already started drinking. This is the end. You know what? I usually drink 22 beers a week. I'm starting off one down, meaning one behind my I was planning to drink 4 beers today. I only drank 3 12-ounce beers. Is that bothering me? No, not really. Johnny Noy says, whoa, night breakers. Oh, that's a good time for it. I guess I should call it nightcap. A nightcap taste challenge. And we're going up. We are going against you all. And we got a Woodford Reserve examination coming up on March 4th on Lundi Gras in New Orleans, Louisiana. People know what Lundi Gras is. And I got my name on a list to go to an all-night party in the French Quarter on Bourbon Street at, I'm not going to name the beer company, at their building, and on the balcony, unlimited beer, unlimited food. All I got to do is show up. True story. Not going to name the company. Don't know if I'm going to go. I don't like to go to the French Quarter. Not really. And I don't like to go at night. A woman was killed just this morning at 3 a.m. Shot and killed while being white in America, to steal a term from our Civil Rights Incorporated people. 36-year-old nurse with children. I don't want to start ranting and raving about that. political stuff, you know how that'll turn out. Tyler Mansell says, cheers, Jay. Cheers to you, Tyler. Okay. Stedman Select, introduced in 2018. Do you remember the year 2018? You remember back in 2018? Oh, that was the past. Well, that's when this was introduced. It's got an interesting label because it's got a texture on it. It feels like real fine grained sandpaper. I'm not joking. Fine grained sandpaper. Stedman Select, and it's got a texture. You can feel the letters. Bourbon whiskey. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Now, and it's sour mash. Ooh, slow matured in select American white oak barrels. This is 86 proof. Hey, I think in my notes down below, that was a song, remember, from Bob Seger. The notes down below. It's 43 proof. I think I put 40. I mean, 86 proof. I think I put 80. I'll correct that. Sorry about that, folks. Distilled, bottled, and barrel aged in Kentucky. The legendary Stedman Select. You know, it's legendary. It's been on the market since 2018. Hey, but let me tell you something about the Stedman Select. Oh, I'm not going into this whole history of Ebenezer Hiram Stedman. Bottled by IWA Distilling Company Limited of Louisville, Kentucky, aged 36 months. 36 months. 1.75 liters. Slow matured in 36 months. I see. Yeah, IWA Distilling. This is the same people. These are the same people who bring us Caliber Canadian blended whiskey, and it's bottled at the same place, and they bring us Caliber rum and all these other products. He said that looks like an ancient age bottle, a huge ancient age bottle. Yeah, it's starting to make sense, ain't it? Because Sazerac owns IWA. 2018, John Neely says, oh, so long ago. Next time I'm down in Florida, I will look for the Stedmans. Yeah, they probably have at Walmart, because in Florida, Walmart has their own liquor stores. Robert Collins says, perfect way to spend a Sunday evening. Awesome vids. Thumbs up. And he shows what is that? Oh, a beer mug. Yes, I agree. All right. Okay. Time to get rolling, folks. I gave David 375 milliliters of Stedman Select. He gave me this Maker's Mark's 375 bottle. He said, fill it up. I'm going to try it. Then he said, then when I get something you want to try, I'll send it your way. Haven't got anything yet, but I'm going to ask him. I'm going to say, hey, send me that Tom Moore. Knowing him, he'll save the 375 and give me the Tom Moore bottle. He didn't like it at all. I want to do Tom Moore in the taste challenges. I got to talk to him about that. Well, the Woodford Reserve is about what? 30? No. What is it for a bottle? What does it cost for a bottle? $25? I don't know. And then the Stedman's was $19.96 for 1.75 liters, so it's much cheaper. Now, the Woodford Reserve has no age statement. How long is it aged? Well, if they don't give an age statement, the minimum is 4 years. All right. Perfect. Oh, Maker's Mark is a great bourbon, says Johnny Neely. And I've never tried it. Can you believe it? So we got a 90.4 proof, age at least 4 years, versus an 86 proof, age 3 years exactly. Well, he liked the Stedman Select. I don't think he's got any left. He blew through it. I said, what'd you think about Stedman Select? I like that, he says. I liked it. I said, well, with the Tom Moore, he said, that stuff was too, what did he say was too cut, too watered down. His big rant and rave lately is that they're cutting bourbons and they're all watered down. I said, well, they don't taste watered down to me. He said, yeah, but how long you been drinking bourbon? I said, oh, about 3 years. He said, that's why you don't have a good reference point. He said, I started back in like 1985. I said, well, see, you have a much better reference point. Okay. But I would assume that Woodford Reserve would kill this Stedman Select. And I didn't even look at the color, right? I just started rotating. Let me see if there's a color difference, but I don't know which is which. They both look kind of orange to me, or reddish amber bourbon-esque type item, particular extrapolation. Well, this one's much lighter in my left hand, and this one's much darker in my right hand. Both have nice alcohol legs. I think the one that's darker must be the Woodford Reserve. You say, yeah, but I bet you that Stedman's colored. Oh, no. Straight bourbon whiskey cannot contain any coloring, nor may it legally contain any natural flavors added. Now, if it's a blended bourbon like Kentucky Gentleman, well, or 10 High, that's a different story. I was confused at first, but then I reread the guidelines carefully, more carefully, and I said, ooh, I feel shame because I had said some stuff in earlier live videos. Blended bourbon actually may contain flavoring and coloring. Oh, and by the way, when I say blended bourbon, I don't mean a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. That's a different category. You can have a blend of straight bourbon whiskeys. Still all straight bourbon. And it cannot have coloring or flavoring. A blended bourbon is 51% straight bourbon, and it's mixed with 49% grain neutral spirits. You might be saying, oh, yummy. You know what they make out of grain neutral spirits? Vodka and gin. Oh, well, people drink it. You know what? I was watching a Kentucky Gentleman video the other day, and the guys reviewing it said, yeah, it's not too good. But then they go on and say, but I drink it all the time. What was their reasoning for drinking it all the time? It was inexpensive. They didn't mind it. They made mixed drinks with it. They said for that purpose, it does a good job. Now, they didn't sit there sipping on it, contemplating it, and thinking of all the intricate details of it. But they said for what it is used for, they thought Kentucky Gentleman was mighty adequate. No, I didn't say mighty fine. So mighty. Oh, Tyler says, I was watching Stout Sunday replay as I saw Jay went live. Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted your Stout Sunday replay. And I felt shame for Stout Sundays because I showed up late. But I couldn't help it. I was at Cracker Barrel restaurant with my father, right off of US Highway 190. And he was ranting and raving about how he hated it. This is terrible. I hate Cracker Barrel, he says. The food is terrible. This breakfast is horrible. And he went on and on and on. And I'm like, well, I guess we can leave now. He said, you just want to leave early so you can go do that beer thing, that beer hangout. I said, beer hangout? Oh, right. No, I was kidding. I knew about it. But he made no rush to do it. And so I turned up late. I said, I didn't think the Cracker Barrel was too bad. In fact, I liked it. But, I told him twice. I said, I'd rather just eat what you fix for breakfast. What you cook. People in the South fix breakfast. Everybody else cooks breakfast. But I said, or prepares it. But I said, I'd just soon eat what you make. Okay. I think I know already which better late than never, Ron. I'm glad you got to join. It was a good time. Yeah, I thought so too. I feel like I'm like disrupting it. You know what I'm saying? When I show up late. So I don't want to do that. Okay. This one here on my right is very dull in the nose. Not bad. I don't want you to take it wrong. It's just like David would say, cut. It's watered down. It's do you get wood? Yes. Do you get charred oak? Yes. Okay. Do you get the bourbon, the corn, the rye? It is Sazerac, right? High rye. You got it. And you will never see this on the Sazerac website. Is it a private label brand? I assume that. Made for Walmart. But my assumptions turn out to be woefully incorrect. because I saw it on other online liquor stores who are in no way affiliated with Walmart, to my knowledge. So it's probably largely made for Walmart, but apparently not exclusively. IWA, that alias of Sazerac / Buffalo Trace, apparently does it for other people. It's a nice aroma here. And for $19.96 for 1.75 liter glass, not that, woeful plastic, depressing plastic, it really does the trick. Now, Woodford Reserve, and y'all can give me the price point. I can't remember. I think it's, I don't know. What is it? $26 a bottle? I don't know what Woodford Reserve costs. I didn't buy it. It was given to me. Oh, this is very minty. I never had Stedman Select, but I predicted Woodford Reserve will win easily. You would hope and assume, but we know what happens with hoping and assuming on this channel. This is rich. It is charcoal. It has a depth of aroma. It's like a tunnel, and it's full through the tunnel. The other one is like it dissipates in the tunnel. It fades by the time you get to the other end of the culvert. One smells really nice, and one smells really exceptionally, fabulously nice. All right, I'll taste it. I mean, I know what it is already. Well, I hope I know. Woodford Reserve is closer to $30 a bottle here. Yeah, that's probably what it is here. I think Mathern's had it for 26, but that was a sales price, like a discount. So it's probably more like $28.99. Oh, wow. That tastes a little bit full-bodied. 90.4 proof. It's got a deep charcoal, excitement going on with it. I don't know how you describe that. It's like it's screaming charcoal. Bourbon people would love it. Bourbon haters will say that's why I hate bourbon. Now, since I'm moving this up to tonight, I'm doing this for scheduling reasons. Got Mardi Gras coming. The ones I have further down the road, I'm gonna have to move them forward, slot them forward. I gotta remember to do that. It doesn't take long to edit it. Okay, so I'll have to do that. I have so many taste challenges coming up. And I got to do the Sir Malcolm Scotch. I got to do the Gibson Select Rare. Yeah, it's rare. It is kind of rare in Louisiana, in fact. I just stumbled across that $9.99 bottle and I almost caught a heart attack. I mean, I really was like shocked. I was in that place and I was like, I thought it was like a mistake. Now, I scored it a B. You saw some people were angry about that. I gave it a B, good, 87. But some people said, what? Are you crazy? I said, I'm not crazy. And anyway, I liked it. And if I paid $9.99 for a 1.75 liter bottle, same as this Stedman Select, $10 less, and it scores a B, that's like the greatest value ever. That's the same price as Caliber, but a glass bottle. And Caliber don't taste that good. Actually, it does taste much better than the price point. You get kind of shocked by Caliber. You're thinking this is going to be filth. Then you drink it, and then it starts beating people in the taste challenges and starts winning. Then you get shook up. After that Seagram's VO thing, after the Seagram's VO thing, I said, whoa, man, you better step back because you were talking a bunch of talk, and here's a whiskey that was $10 cheaper, and you couldn't even tell them apart. I don't know what magic Sazerac's working. You know what I'm saying? How do they make this stuff for this price? $5.96 a bottle. And you don't hate it. It's not bad. What are they making? A nickel a bottle? I don't know how Sazerac operates. It's a private company. They don't release any information. They're very secretive and well connected. And then I made the mistake of going to CVS Pharmacy the other day. Oh, yeah. They have a whole line of Sazerac rum, gin, blended American whiskey, Canadian whiskey, and so on and so on. I said, I just can't escape this trap. And oh, yeah, the 1.75 liter bottles were $9.99. $9.96, I think. And they're called Grand Legacy. I said, yeah, that's a legacy, all right. But people buy it. And here I am over here talking bad about it. Have I ever tried it? No, I have not. Will I try it? If you know this channel well enough, you know the answer. This one is very woody. The nose, no. It's very ancient age-ish in the nose. But remember, ancient age is only 80 proof. Unless you go to Kentucky and then you stumble across some that are 90 proof for whatever inexplicable reason. Not that they ever mention it on the Sazerac website. You say, what about ancient age 10 star? I think that's 80 proof, but it's aged 6 years. Remember, Sazerac has about 800 brands on their website, and then there's about 1,000 more they don't bother to list. I made a joke today at breakfast. I told my daddy, I said, Jack Daniel's distillery tour. I said, you know, that place is like a Disneyland for alcoholics. He said, yeah, you said it right. Don't joke. That's what it really is. I said, no, I'm just kidding. I said, most of those people are probably not alcoholics. They're just enthusiasts. They're hobbyists. He said, no. You said it right the first time. I said, oh, you know, I said, they're doing it for cultural reasons. He said, I would have zero interest in going to that. I said, I know you would. Cheers, fellas. I'm sipping a Cuddy Sark, says Victor Wang, on the rocks. Hey, I got a half a bottle of Cuddy Sark, boy. Cuddy Sark is all right by me. Cuddy Sark is all right by me. Cuddy Sark is all right by me. Now, you see this one on my left hand? You say, no, it's your right. I know these things get flipped around and reversed. It's a lot. No, it's not a lot. It's somewhat more significantly charred. And maybe, perhaps, possibly the body is a little fuller, which is telling me higher proof. But, you know, as it's panning out, still waiting on a review. I don't know what you're talking about. I never heard of that. I wouldn't try it even with the name. Ron, I like your quirky humor. Ha, ha, ha. Some people hate it. But I can't worry about the ninnies and the twits. They stalk me on the internet. If I write a review on somebody else's hangout, oh, well, you in 2011 said this, and you were wearing a red shirt. There was a squirrel. I was like, wow, you know more about my videos than me. You have deficits. What deficits? You're insane. Okay. No, not deficits, excuse me. I'll restate. You know more about my videos than I do. And I'm supposed to say you had disadvantages. And then you say, what disadvantages? And then I say, you're insane. Okay. All right. It's amazing what people do to create drama. It's like they're out of control. I'm very impressed, though. I'm very impressed. Very impressed. Shocked, really. It's very shocking because you think, no, Stedman Select, 1996 for this huge bottle. It's only aged 3 years. This stuff is going to be whack. It is going to be a joke. But yet, here it is at 86 proof. It is battling and holding its own. You say, yeah, because it's sour mash. Well, that could have something to do with it. And they don't say anything about sour mash on Woodford Reserve, do they? No, they do not. So could sour mash be the secret variable that's kind of making this a tough challenge? Well, it might just be. Might just be. But I still think this one in my left hand is more pronounced. It's more, it's bolder. Like Gary Owens was telling me. I told Gary, I said, I think the Hurricane High Gravity is too strong for me. What I meant was it's too heavy bodied and it has too much alcohol. He said, well, I find it's just more bold and flavorful. And I like it, he said. Well, I think we were misunderstanding each other. I didn't say that it wasn't flavorful or bold. I believe those things, but it's too strong. It's like a whiskey that's got too much alcohol in it. It's too high proof. I can't handle it. It's too strong. That's what I mean by strong. Not flavor. I don't mind flavorful. Oh, and by the way, I saw Gosling's rum, black rum. And I saw Gosling's super strength rum, 151 proof, just yesterday at Albertsons. I was very shocked, and it was so cheap. And that comes from the island of the island country, because it's more than one island, but it's mainly one island, Bermuda. I said, ooh. And our guy at work was saying, I'd love to try that stuff. I'm going to tell him tomorrow. I saw Gosling's. I know where to get it, because we can get the ginger beer. YouTube needs a virtual hell for these trolls. Yeah, what would YouTube be like without trolls? Oh yeah, a lot nicer, more pleasant, enjoyable. Okay, I'm going to call it. But is Woodford Reserve, okay, let's balance it out by ounce or milliliter. Let's see, 1996 divided by 1750 times 750. It's unreal. So we're talking about $8.55 a bottle. $8.55 a bottle versus, let's call it 28. I'm going to be generous, $28 a bottle. Although Johnny Nearly says more like 30. You say, no. The Stedman Select is garbage. It's filth compared to Woodford Reserve. Anybody with any brain can see that. Well, I'm drinking it and you're thinking it because you ain't had it. And I'm telling you, it ain't no way. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 3 is 24. Yeah, it's not that much better. It's better. It's not that much better. So it's shocking. Sazerac does it again. Where do these people get this talent? Gosling's is awesome. I highly recommend any of their products, says Johnny Nearly. I love the 151 proof dark rum. It's probably my favorite from the Gosling's line. It's incredibly smooth. And Johnny Nearly, you know what price I saw for these? I mean, you might say, well, that's a normal price. They were $15.99, $15.99 a bottle at Albertsons. Now, whether that's a good price or not, I don't know. Craig Swenson says, my whiskey / scotch exploration has ended ever since I discovered E&J VSOP. I just can't get enough. The Christian Brothers VS was good, but I love the EJ VSOP. Well, now, hold on now. Hold on now. You got to try the Christian Brothers VSOP before you pass judgment. I can get Christian Brothers VSOP. And I think the Christian Brothers VSOP can go toe-to-toe with E&J. But, of course, it's a close call. Johnny Neely says, brandy is addictive, Craig. Sorry for the bad texting. That's a great price, Ron, says Johnny Neely. $15.99 a bottle for Goslings. Oh, okay, I'm glad to hear that. Because they had the Goslings. I know they had the black and the 151 proof. I'm not sure of the others. They may have had others. I'm not sure. I might buy it, but you know, if we've talked about that, this back stock is shameful. I really cannot be. And I had a bottle of Samuel Grant bourbon whiskey in my hand. Samuel Grant in my hand for $9.99. Aged 3 years. You say that sounds like it's just a repackaged ancient age. Probably, maybe, possibly, but I didn't buy it. I said, no. I'm going to pay $9.97 and get this bottle of, I'm going to tell you now, John and Neely, Fairbanks, California port, 1.5 liters of wine, 18% alcohol for $9.97 on an Albertsons clearance. I was like, ain't no way I'm passing that up. I'll just put that Samuel Grant right back on the shelf. Because after all, if I do Samuel Grant and make a video, everybody's going to be like, I never heard of that. But everybody's probably heard of Fairbanks. Okay. Christian Brothers Sacred Bond is one to try, Craig, if you can find it. Yeah, it's about $25 a bottle. But I'm thinking that not even cognac is beating that thing. That thing is 100 proof. It's bottled in bond and it is awesome. And they claim on the Heaven Hill website it's the first ever bonded bourbon. I'll get it right. Bonded brandy. The first ever brandy that was bottled in bond. Unfortunately, Heaven Hill is wrong because I found Google search, or it was Bing or Yahoo search, from like the early 1980s, Hartley bonded brandy. Hartley, you know, the infamous Hartley. I said, oh, well, they beat you to it. It's just that everybody forgot about it. Victor, that's why we like Ron's videos. Drama isn't the ingredients. Not usually, and if I'm talking about drama, it's other people coming at me. But darkness hates light, right? I'm trying to be a positive energy projection, right? Positive energy, happiness, having a good time, hanging out. And you might say, I watch your videos and I have a lot of personal misery. And so I'm going to troll your damn channel. All right. Lawrence Hartness says, good evening. Good evening to you, Lawrence. Victor Wang says, agreed. 47. Ron is smart. I can tell. I try to be smart. Some people say you're not smart. You're a smart ass. Okay. Johnny Neely says, Fairbanks. Now that's one I can get. I've been wanting to try it for a while. I'm talking about the red label, the port, the California port. I got a big boy bottle. Victor Wang says, laugh out loud. Something's telling me I better go break open that can of the Keystone Ice, which is an ice ale. Doesn't say lager, it says ale, and it's always said ale. I've got cans from 1996. They say ale, 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 ale. Eric Fraunfelter was like, no, they mean ale in Texas. I said, no, wait a minute, Eric. I said the ones that say ale in Texas say on the can, ale in Texas. All right, here we go. I pray this is Woodford Reserve, because if I turn this up and it doesn't say Woodford Reserve, I'm going to be the most embarrassed person you ever saw in your entire life. It's got to be Woodford Reserve, right? I mean, I don't know why I have a video channel. I swear to all right, that was just an act, but it was meant to make a point that I'm shocked. Why? The state of Georgia has awesome ABV laws. Keystone Ice, you should definitely crack that bad boy open. Lawrence Hartnett says, your input on alcohol eggs on Facebook is greatly appreciated. I have a coworker on that page who enjoys reading your input on craft beer. What are you drinking, John and Ellie? Nothing at the moment, Victor. Well, the reason I fainted, or, acted like I was fainting, is because I'm really scared to say this, but I looked at the bottom and the tag says SS. Now, something tells me, I'm not joking, people. I mean, I am not, actually, I'm not joking. SS means Stedman Select, right? It don't mean Woodford Reserve. And over here, let me take a taste. WR, Woodford Reserve. Oh, no. Well, the world just got blown up. John Neely says, it's been a busy day, Victor. I'm going to Papa Top soon. Yeah, right? Remember Papa Top? Remember that video channel? It disappeared like the wind. And then it came back, and then it disappeared again. And then his Facebook page went defunct. Not blocked. Like, he didn't get mad and block me. He got defunct. I was like, what happened to Papa Top, y'all? But you never know, because a lot of video channels are here today and gone tomorrow. It's all good, Ron. We still love you. How can you love me after I thought Woodford Reserve was Stedman Select and I thought Stedman Select was Woodford Reserve? Well, this is about the most troubling and shocking development we've had on this channel, except for the other 10. I don't know. I wanted the video to be short, and I thought, this is child's play. And what did I say? What did I say about this one in my right hand? It doesn't have enough aroma. It doesn't have enough body. It doesn't have enough cachet. It's not roasted enough. I mean, it's not a charcoal enough. It's not emphasized enough or whatever. And I'm thinking, that's ancient age. Get out of here. And then I look at the bottle. I swear I'm shocked. And people say that's an act. You stage these things. It's an act. It's not really blind. Well, you can believe what you want. They're blind, all right, buddy boy. And I'm telling you, this thing right here says SS Stedman Select. Well, just goes to show you, money is not everything. And I could just stay on and say, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. But I'm telling you, Stedman Select beat Woodford Reserve. Now, that's the shock. It's like Villanova won the national championship in basketball in 1985. Then they turn around and won it again years later. I don't know. I don't understand. Johnny Nilly says, I definitely need to try the Stedman Select now. It has to be pretty good to compete with the Woodford Reserve. Thank you. Oh, but it wasn't a matter of competing tonight. It was a matter of winning. Okay, well, I think Keystone Ice is going to have to take a back seat to this emergency situation. No, I'm not going to pour a whole bunch more. I'm not going to review. I'm just going to pour like a thousandth of an ounce. And then we'll do the Woodford. Let's see about this. Yeah, there's that rich nose. And then the Woodford. All right, enough's enough. Lawrence Harden said, "What's the worst bourbon or liquor, etc., you've ever had?" Oh, the worst. Yikes! That's a very difficult question to answer. Well, I've never actually dumped out of liquor. I've dumped out beer, dumped out wine once that was rancid. Wasn't going to drink that stuff. And then I went back to the store and I told him, I said, this wine was spoiled. And the guy says, well, a lot of people cook with that. Like, how is that related to what I just told you that the wine is rancid? I mean, a lot of people cook with a lot of stuff. Okay, smells exactly like I did it before. Richer aroma, not so rich. Full charcoal, not really. Stedman Select, Woodford Reserve. This is shocking. I mean, it's beyond belief. For me, Calvert's is death in a bottle. Worst hangover ever. Oh, Victor Wang, you know what John and Neely and myself drank when we were over there in Atlanta? Not Atlanta, in Georgia together. We drank Calvert's and we liked it. And the video is posted. We liked it. What can I say? And I've got a bottle of Calvert Canadian. Never opened it yet. Plan to. Shocking. Unbelievable. Beyond belief. It's beyond belief. Well, that's the beauty or the danger, I should say. Oh, we had the Calvert blended American whiskey. Pretty good. Probably the best blended, well, probably the best blended American whiskey I've ever had this side of Seagram 7 Crown. I'm not going to say it was as good as Seagram 7 Crown, but it was pretty darn good. Well, too bad Woodford Reserve. Too bad Brown-Forman, the makers of Jack Daniels, because you got beat again. Calvert Extra, Victor, was pretty good. Right, Calvert Extra. That's right. That's what it's called. Couldn't remember the name. I'm thinking of Calvert Canadian. And I didn't buy the black bottle. All right, that's okay. I need to let that go. Like people tell me, you just need to let it go. Well, I just can't believe it. All right, I got to settle my nerves. People say, well, how do you settle your nerves with whiskey? You drink beer? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to drink the Keystone because it's just too much alcohol. But I'm talking about the cheaper one. Never had the one you're talking about. Now I think the Calvert Extra is like the cheap one, you know. That's it. It's like really cheap. It just, we didn't hate it. I don't know why. We either had bad taste or. But Victor, there's a lot of these whiskeys. There's like 10 different expressions, but you look on the website, they'll show 3. Then you go to the store and there's like the other 7. So that could be the case, what you're talking about. Anyway, well, I'm glad I did this taste challenge tonight because this upsets the apple cart, to say the least. We've got the Fairbanks, California port. Johnny Neely is going to be looking to buy that, I'm pretty sure. So we'll and then James P. Madonna loves to do the port, so he's going to be jumping on that like white on rice. And well, heck, I'm not worrying about it. You do the taste challenges and you get woke up, and sometimes things, in a way, it's a good thing because it goes to show you that a $19.99 or $8.55 if you buy the 750 bottle of bourbon can beat a premium priced bourbon. And I mean beat it kind of badly because you saw what I said. Johnny Neely is trying to tempt me into this. An ice cold Keystone Ice would help calm those nerves. All right, I'll drink it. I'll drink the damn thing. Victor Wang says I was probably trashed and blamed it all on Calvert's. Okay, I'll be right back, y'all. I'll be right back, y'all. Okay. So get back there, Woodford Reserve, you pathetic underperformer. All right. It was a bad day, says Victor. Well, I see people what they drink, and they just drinking again and again. They're just drinking these incredible amounts of liquor. Well, yeah, don't do it. All right. Keystone. I like Keystone Ice Brewed Ale because it has a one. I was thinking about that earlier when I was putting all my stuff up because I had gone to college baseball. Did you lose power or something? No. I got up to go get these other items. This beer has a very interesting and discernible hop bite at the end. Don't let people tell you, oh, those damn, excuse my language, those craft beers, yeah, those Keystone ice beers, those ice beers have no hop character whatsoever. They're just all freezer burn and sweetness. No, 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 no. Sorry, they do. It's dark there. Oh, I mean, it's nighttime. I have a light on. Bill Weimer says, or Weimer says, did you? Oh, 47 straight 8 says, believe it or not, Victor, in all my blind taste tests, Jack Daniels always loses. Yeah, and I got Jack Daniels coming up against Woodford Reserve. I don't know what to think now. Ha ha, 47, no biases there. The palate don't lie. Look, if you're doing a blind taste test, it doesn't lie because it's a blind taste test. Now I got these trollish people out here telling me, oh, you fake the blind taste test. Come on, man. Do you think I have time or the interest to sit here and fake a blind taste test? Get off. Go away. Disappear like a roach because I'm not doing that. But I know what they're getting at. They're saying, this is their theory. Oh, he's a champion for the cheap brands. He's got some embedded or hidden agenda. He wants to make cheap brands look as good as the real expensive brands, so he stages blind taste tests. But they're fake somehow. Wrong, wrong, wrong. They're not fake. That's the way they. Now, could it be you say, well, maybe you have a bad a palate. Maybe you don't taste things correctly. Maybe you don't have an inability to taste good things from bad. That's a possibility. It's a factor that has to be considered. I don't think it's the case, but it's possible. Let's see. The man with the plan says, I've never had an ice beer that tastes hoppy. I didn't say it tasted hoppy. I didn't say Keystone Ice tasted hoppy. I said it had some hop character that people don't expect it to have. Oh, it's there. I mean, I have IPAs in the fridge, If I want to drink an IPA, I can go get those. I've been watching your videos on beers the last 2 years. You're my go-to when I want an honest review. Well, thank you, Bill. I do appreciate that. They just want to get under your skin, Ron. Ignore these fools. It does work that they get under my skin sometimes. Yes. I never knew you did bourbon, says Bill. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. For many years. Well, not many, but some. Okay. All right. I got to go brush my teeth. I got to go lay down. I got to go to sleep. I got to wake up at 2 a.m. so I can do what? Look at baseball and basketball scores. You say, yeah, right. No, that actually is the true story, as sad as that sounds. And drink 3 cups of coffee and read the Bible and post a picture of an old beer ad. These are the things I do. Okay, here's the fair. I'll go back to this, make sure I'm showing it. Here's what I got, Johnny. Look, Fairbanks Port. Woo! Look at this huge bottle. 18% alcohol. Fairbanks, California Port. $9.97 for this bottle on a closeout. Are you kidding me? I'm not kidding you. Look at that Regal crest. You say, I didn't know Ernest and Julio Gallo was a royal company. Yeah, it ain't. They just trying to make it look fancy. I thought port wine had to come from Oporto, Portugal. Portuguese wine. Yeah, it does actually, but this is an American wine and they call it port and they're not under the laws of the European Union, so they can just kind of like do that. All right, so that's going to be exciting. Here's James Fox Canadian blended whiskey. That was a search. That took some legwork. This took legwork. But it panned out because I got a liter, not a 750, a liter bottle for $8.99, which, as it turns out, is cheaper than I should have gotten it for. But I got it. I bought it. It's mine. It's been on the market since 1975. James Fox was actually a real person, obscure as he was. That's got a history behind it. We'll get to that later. I got the Northern Lights. And Johnny Neely said, oh, Lord, not those plastic bottles like Canadian Leaf. Well, in this case, it's glass. Yeah. It's got that fancy top, too, with the little, whatever those things are called, those little indentions, those embossments. Been on the market a long time, too, the Northern Lights. And apparently it has two different names, the Northern Lights or the Northern Light. Seen two names. I've seen bottles with two names on it. Got it for, let's see, $9.99. Well, it was either $9.99 or $10.99, the Northern Light or the Northern Lights, depending on where you buy it. Been around a long time, actually. Never tried it. Is it any good? Well, I've never tried it. How can I answer that question? So that's going to be something to check out. Oh, and here's the one that Victor was talking about. The Lord, he was talking about Calvert, but here's Lord Calvert, Canadian imported. Then there's a flag that looks like Newfoundland's flag or something. And it's so Canadianized. But this is an interesting product because it actually started in Baltimore, Maryland in 1933. And apparently it was such a horrible whiskey. But I don't know, you know how these stories go. There's like the real story and then there's the marketing story. But anyway, the marketing story was that it was so horrible that Seagram's came along and they said, you know, we got to rescue this brand. And they told the company, you are making terrible whiskey. So therefore, we're going to buy you out. And in 1934. And then they moved the production up to Canada and they made Lord Calvert, Canadian. But then on the other hand, they still made Calvert Extra, Calvert whiskey, because Lord Calvert is Lord Baltimore. That's the people that started the colony of Maryland. And they still made it right there at, you know, that famous it's called Majestic Distilling today, but back then it was called Monumental Distilling. Right there by that railroad track. Might be the B&O, Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. And yeah, it got bought out, and all that. But it's kind of like this one of those hidden brands, and then whiskey people are like, oh, I know about that. What are you talking about? That's a high rye product, like Club 400. That's a high rye product. Well, it is true, because if you get the Club 400, you look at the bottle and you say, oh, give me a break. Club 400 blended American whiskey. This is going to be the worst stuff in the history of the worst stuff. But then you drink it and then you think it and you say, I don't know, man. It's got a distinctively high rye character. And it's coming from Baltimore County, Maryland, and it ain't the same as other Sazerac stuff, although Sazerac did buy it. And the plant is still there, and it's kind of famous, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's look at the comments. We got to close this thing out. This thing could go on all night, but it ain't, because I'm going to sleep. Robert Collins retracted a message. I do that sometimes. Usually because of grammar mistakes or spelling, and sometimes because I say, I shouldn't have said that. Johnny Nilly says, I've never seen the big bottles like that, just the 750s here. Oh, yeah, these Fairbanks, they're like $10.99. But then Albertsons had it for $9.99. There was no way. No way I was passing that up. Sorry, no way. Bill Weimer said, fellow Christian here, I like your saying grace before meals. Thank you. Yes, we went to mass this morning at 7:30 at Holy Grove. Can't talk. Holy Ghost Church. He says, anyway, trying Henry McKenna bottle and bond. Oh, it's a 10-year-old and $32 around my area. I hope David Garlapete is watching this, although he's probably not, because he's got a bottle of Henry McKenna. And I went to Savannah Discount, and they had Henry McKenna, the regular one, for $9.99. Oh no, $8.99. And David said, "That's the price. That's what it costs." And I said, "I thought Henry McKenna was kind of like a more expensive brand." He said, "No. I know it's made by Heaven Hill. We do get some Heaven Hill stuff here, except the only Heaven Hill we get that's called Heaven Hill is their blended blended Kentucky bourbon." T900 Bad Bot says hello. Hello to you. John and Neely says Ron's a sucker for a good deal. Now that's absolutely the truth. He says, as I result. Hey, wait, I'm the one that's been drinking the whiskey. He says, as I result, he's probably got the most unique whiskey collection in the world. Well, I don't know about the most unique. Some people would look in that cabinet and say, you mean the most deplorable? Victor Wang says, Ron, quick question. What is the most beers you ever drank in one sitting? Oh, probably about 3. And that was over about a 3-hour period. Now, that's a true story. Victor Wang says, Ron probably has more whiskey than all Matherns put together. If you went to a Matherns and then you went to all their stores, you'd retract that statement immediately. They have so much whiskey in there, you would be floored. And I mean floored. I'll say one thing about Matherns. They got people that drive 50 miles to get their stuff. And they make special orders. And I'll say this. This goes along with what I'm saying before. Matherns can get it done. They get the job done. I have requested 2 different items from Matherns, and in one day it came in, and then in 2 days the other thing came in. I said to Matherns, yeah, I'm looking for a Beams 8-star. So they said, we're going to call and find out. An hour later, they called me on my house phone and said, we got it. It's coming in. Next day, it's there. And not a bad price either, because you figure they're going to hit you up, you know, because you ordered it. Nope. Then I was looking for Taka Gin, not Taka Baka. Taka Gin. You say, oh, no, not Taka Gin. Yeah, that's right. Try to find it. Call me up once you find it. 2 days later, there's Taka Gin. I said, oh, I'll start crying. But I didn't cry. I just drank it. But they will get the job done. They got people that order Weller 12 year. They got people that order Pappy Van Winkle. It's there. They get it. These guys got the connection. They can get the job done. And I have been so impressed by Mathern's whiskey selection in the last 3 or 4 months. I go in there and I look across over that counter and I just say, oh, look at this. Oh, look at that. I mean, there was a guy that, yes, he's an Anheuser-Busch salesman. He works for Anheuser-Busch, one of their distributors. He was looking at that whiskey. He was like, look, look. I said, are you going to buy it? He said, he tells me, I don't know. It's kind of expensive. I said, you'll buy it. And I asked one of the people in the store, I said, what happened to that old Fitzgerald? He said, that guy bought it. And then I told the guy a couple of days later, I said, you got that old Fitzgerald, huh? He said, did I buy it? I said, what did you think? He said, he looks at me like this. It's awesome. It's awesome. I said, it really is, huh? He said, believe me. So these guys around here, they're like all enthusiasts. And I'm talking about people that work for the distributors. I'm not going to name the companies. But I talk to these bulk merchandisers. I talk to these salesmen. I don't know about other states, but around here, they work the products and they drink the products. They are like, I don't know why. Well, I guess I can't have a video channel, but they're always telling me, I tried this, I tried that. And then they'll give me, like evaluations of it for good or bad. Okay. Bill Weimer says, I love Heaven Hill's earthy notes. I'm glad you brought that up. Even their gut, their rot gut, and I've got a bottle right there in the cabinet. I can pull it out to prove it. And it's desultory. It's grim. It's grim. The Heaven Hill Kentucky blended American whiskey. Even though when you drink it, you're slumming it, it does have, like Bill's saying, earthy notes. You say, no, it's 80% grain neutral spirit. Well, I remember when ORVW 10/107 went for $29.99. It wasn't that long ago. Now it goes for hundreds. ORVW. Ten-year age, 107 proof. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Old Fitzgerald bottled and bond in the old Rip Van Winkle. Oh, $29.99, like in the late 80s. Oh, now they got people that line up. They drive from Shreveport, drive from Beaumont, Texas, drive from Mobile, Alabama to get it. True story. Now Pappy Van Winkle. Oh, yeah. Was Rip Van Winkle, now Pappy Van. One of these days, I'd like to try some old Rip Van Winkle, maybe when I make it big and retire on a yacht in the Caribbean, says John Neely. Oh, man, look. This thing, I got to get off the air, look. But this whole thing about the Weller 12-year, that was like a big blow up. They had people that were like stressed out. They were like, I want the damn Weller 12-year. I want the Weller 12-year. And the store manager's like, I can only get this many bottles. I got to give it to the people that lined up first. You know what I'm saying? They asked for it first. Their name's on a list. But these people are like stressing out like their life's going to end because they don't get Weller 12 year. And I'm thinking to myself, why would you get that upset? But oh, believe me, overpriced and worth staying away from, says Bill Weimers now. But I got the Pappy. And I didn't pay for it. But that's another story. The Weller 12 year, I tried it for the first time and it was only $40. It was last year and it was pretty good. Yeah, it's not expensive. It's just that you can't get it. And I talked to a distributor and I said, do you think they limit it on purpose to make it rare? He said, absolutely. Now, this is the distributor telling me absolutely. Oh, well, why not? Make it hard to get. Just like Bourbon County Stout from Goose Island, but just don't make it infected. Make it hard to get, but don't make it infected. I got a free T-shirt out of that, and a refund. All right. Anyway, well, we got Lord Calvert coming up. When will this be done? Oh, probably before the end of 2019. Deerfield, Illinois. Hey, wait a minute. That's Canadian Club's area. Ooh. Is this stuff made at this? Is this stuff bottled at the same place as Canadian Club? I bought that on U.S. Highway 90 business route, like literally on the highway. Well, the Northern Lights is the one I'm really excited about because it's got such a strange history. Okay, let's see. James Fox. Yeah, that was an interesting story. I think I'll talk about. Better put that up. Every time I look at James Fox, it reminds me of Welcome Back, Kotter. For some. All right, Fairbanks. Well, you know. All right. Enough of this. Yeah, there's definite hop. Might be hop extract, but it's there. Okay, Bill says, I got to run. Have a good night. You should do a live feed on Saturday night. Yeah, I'll probably be in New Orleans on Saturday night in the midst of Mardi Gras. That's going to be very questionable. John Neely said, I can get the Northern Lights here. I'll wait for your review before I decide whether or not to buy a bottle. Yeah, it's probably going to be like Canadian Limited, rich and rare type item. John Neely is saying, no, not that. Yeah, right. But in my case, I saw it $9.99 a bottle. I said, what the heck? I'll get it. $9.99. Yeah. But I mean, if you got to pay more than $9.99 or $10.99, I could understand the reluctance, the reticence to get it. Okay. Well, that brings us to the conclusion of another hangout filled with frivolity, cognitive dissonance in this case, because you would never in your wildest dream think that Woodford Reserve would lose to Stedman Select, but yet it happened live on air. And then in 2 days, we're going to begin a whole extrapolation of Woodford Reserve. And if Woodford Reserve doesn't do better than tonight, I'm going to have many dedicated, troubling questions related to it. Blah, 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 murmur. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. Thanks for watching this video production